In the previous session of client-server model, we discussed about blocking and non-blocking primitives, buffered and non-buffered primitives. Now here, we will discuss about reliable and unreliable primitives. Before moving towards reliable and unreliable primitives, let's take an example. Now, implementing reliable communication is entirely up to the users. For example, a post office works in the similar way. Now, when you drop a letter in a letterbox, the post office does its best to deliver its letter. But there are chances of this letter to be missing. Now, in a similar way, we will discuss the reliable and unreliable primitives. Now, the first method is individually acknowledging a message. Now, in this we have a client and we have a server. In this approach, it is required that the kernel on the receiving machine to send an acknowledgement back to the kernel on the sending machine. That means, first a client will make a request to the server. Once the request has been received by the server will send an acknowledgement back to the client. Now this acknowledgement happens from the client kernel to the server kernel. Following this, the client or the server will reply back to the client. After this, there will be an acknowledgement to the reply back from the client to the server. So this acknowledgement also happens at the kernel level. So if you see, in total, after the request there is an acknowledgement, after the reply also there is an acknowledgement. So for a simple request reply process, there are 4 messages. We'll see an improvement to this method. Okay. So in this case, a reply is used as an acknowledgement for the request. So similarly, in this case also we have a client and a server. There is a request which goes from the client to the server, and a reply which comes from the server to the client. Now in this case, the reply itself acts as an acknowledgement, and the sender remains blocked until the reply comes in. Now if it takes too long, then the sending kernel can resend the request to guard against the possibility of a lost message. Although the reply function as an acknowledgement for the request, there is no acknowledgement for the reply. Now if the request requires extensive computation on the part of the server, and if the server sends the reply before the timer expires, then the reply functions as an acknowledgement. But if the timer goes off, a separate acknowledgement is sent. So this acknowledgement goes from the client kernel to the server kernel. In any event, if the reply is lost and the request is retransmitted, then the server kernel can see that the request is an old one and just send the reply again without waking up the server. So let's summarize. We have seen different ways of implementing the client-server model. Let's put them in a tabular form and see which are the different methods. So we have seen the addressing method, the blocking method, buffering method, and the reliability method. With respect to addressing, we saw 3 different options. First was the machine number method. Okay. The second one was sparse processes which used n number of addresses, and the third one was making use of a lookup server or the name server. With respect to blocking, we saw the blocking primitives, the non-blocking primitives wherein there was a copy maintained to the kernel, and the non-blocking with interrupts. With respect to buffering, we saw unbuffered, wherein unexpected messages were discarded, unbuffered, where the unexpected messages were temporarily kept, and we also saw the use of mailboxes. And finally, with respect to reliability, we saw two options, that is request, acknowledge, request, reply, acknowledge, and the request, reply, and the acknowledgement method. So these were the 4 ways wherein message can be done in a client-server model. Now, what are the issues that a client-server model faces? Now, the first issue is when a message is sent as packet, there are chances of the packets being lost, or even the messages can arrive in wrong order. So, what is the best solution for this? There's one solution, that is we can assign message numbers to each message and then place in each packet belonging to the message, along with the sequence number which provides the order of the packets. So this is a solution in case the packets are being lost. The second issue is, how do we make use of the acknowledgement? There are 2 solutions to this. The first solution is we acknowledge individual packet in a message. Okay. So the advantage is, if a packet is lost, only then that packet will be retransmitted. But the disadvantage is, there will be n number of packets on the network. So what is the other solution to this? The other solution is we acknowledge the entire message rather than acknowledging each packet in a message. So the advantage over here is there will be a fewer number of packets, but the disadvantage is more complicated recovery will be required in case a packet is lost. So n number of different types of packets are being used, but we will go through a few packets over here. So we have seen a request packet which goes from the client to the server. So this packet is used only when the client requires a service from the server. The second type of packet is the reply. So this type of packet comes from the server to the client. So whenever a request is processed by the server and the response is sent to the client. Acknowledgement or ACK packet, which is from either side, either which goes from the client to the server or server to the client. AYA packet, are you alive? Now this type of packet goes from the client to the server, just to make sure that the server is still working and is not crashed. IAA, that is I am alive. Now this packet comes from the server to the client. Now this packet is in response to AYA packet. So basically what happens over here is, the client is asking the server, are you alive? And in response to it, the server is responding with the packet IAA, that is I am alive. The next packet is TA, that is try again, which moves from the server to the client. That means the client has requested something to the server and the server right now at this moment is not able to process it. So it says try again. And finally AU, that is address unknown, which moves from the server to the client. That means a client has requested to the server to process something which does not exist on that particular server. So in that case it says address unknown, or basically it is that particular process is not being serviced by the server. So we just spoke about the AYA packets, that is are you alive packets. So basically what happens is, when a request has been sent successfully by the client to the server and also the acknowledgement has been received, and the client is patiently waiting for the a reply from the server. But there is no answer which is coming within a reasonable amount of time from the server. So it means that the computation is really complicated, or there are chances that the server has crashed. In such cases, a AYA packet are being sent by the client to the server. In response to that, the server replies with IAA, that is I am alive, packet to the client. So if AYA does not generate any request, then the client waits for a short interval and then tries again. Now if the procedure fails more than a specified number of times, then the client kernel reports a failure. So what if the request packet cannot be accepted? So there are two reasons. One reason is that the mailbox of the server is full. In such a case, the server will respond back to the client saying try again. Or the second reason is a client is requesting a process which does not exist on that particular server. So in that case, the request packet cannot be accepted and the server will respond with the packet AU, that is address unknown. So we have seen 4 different modes of client server model. The first model is we have a client and a server where there is a request and there is a reply. The second type of packet exchange in a client server model is there is a request which goes from the client to the server. The server acknowledges the request, sends a reply, and then the client acknowledges the reply back to the server. We have seen another model wherein the reply itself was acting as an acknowledgement. So we have a request, we have a reply, and we have an acknowledgement in case the reply doesn't come within a specified period of time to the client. And finally we have seen a request which is acknowledged by the server. Now the client is waiting for a response from the server. So since there is no response from the server, the client sends AYA packet to the server, that is are you alive, and the server responds back to the client saying I am alive. And after some time the server sends a reply back to the client, to which the client acknowledges the reply. So these are the 4 different modes of message transmission, of exchange of packets in a client server